tape.
This is the new realism, the new dimension that is so vividly apparent in stereophonic sound.
Hey there, it's your old pal Keith from wavetables.lol. That's wavetables.lol, home of KRC Mathwaves, the world's largest collection of wavetables, single-cycle waveforms, and even some samples for all sorts of modern synthesizers. Today, I wanted to take... It is the new realism. Today, I wanted to take a look at a couple of new audio damage plugins that I don't think have really been covered very well by your standard synth tubers. Audio Damage is a really cool developer. I hope you know them, but if you're what happens if I hit the stop button? Why did it do that? Audio Damage is a really cool plugin developer that I greatly enjoy. And do I need to move my mic? What's going on? All right. That I've supported for a long time. And they have some new plugins that have been kind of well covered by people who do reviews of products that work with like iPads and iPhone, but not so much on desktop. And I was really enchanted by some demos I had seen of this plugin called Traverse. So Traverse is a lo-fi tape simulation and delay. I've been on a tip lately of doing kind of liminal ambient sound design, and Traverse like really fits into that. It's a simulation of a tape effect. But it's not like a hi-fi, like, studio production tape effect. It's more like a cassette kind of theme, and it has some very interesting features. And we're on Audio Damage's site right now. I want to go to all their products. There are 3 new effects, new-ish effects that Audio Damage has released. They're available as a bundle that's still on intro price. It's called the Motion Bundle, and this includes Traverse, which is a cassette delay type effect, and then a granular effect called Ascent, and a dual reverb called Ascent. And I think they're really great. So, if you don't want to listen to me talk about these things, and you're just here to see like what your old pal Keith thinks of the latest Audio Damage effects, I think they're great. I bought them. These were not provided to me, but I was interested in Traverse. Traverse, I think, is $29 right now. Is it? Let's look. Let's make sure it's $29. I think the price might go up in the future, but they've got a bundle right now where you can get all of those new motion effects for 25% off. I think they're 25 and 26%. I guess there's some rounding error going on there. Oh no, I see. It's 25% off for the motion bundle. I don't know what I was looking at. Don't listen to me. Anyway, I think they're really great. But I wanted to walk through this, especially with Traverse. Let's get Traverse up here. So in this particular track, which is the drum track, you don't see any MIDI here in Bitwig because I'm using Stylus RMX. Unfortunately, you can't get Stylus RMX anymore, but this is Spectrasonic's like really cool, like it's almost procedural, really. But it's like a drum beat creator that I greatly like. And if we were to listen to this without effects, let's just do that. Let's turn off Traverse and so this is my drum beat. And one of the things that Audio Damage says you might do with Traverse, which we'll pull it up its interface right now. It says what you might do is put it on your drum bus and give your drum bus kind of a lo-fi feel. So we're listening now to just the core of Stylus RMX beat that's playing, But let's turn on Traverse. I think you can immediately hear what's going on here. We've added a significant amount of drive that's kind of a cassette recording kind of drive, and it's got a delay, but with very limited feedback, or even like zero feedback, and a very short delay time. I could bring this up. So you hear what it's doing. You know, each of those repeats on the delay getting more and more crunchy. And since I've been on this, whoa, crazy. Since I've been on this kind of lo-fi tip, hey, why is that not stopping? Because I turned it on over here rather than in the Bitwig transport. You can hear that it adds a lot of interesting crunch, and also like tape, wow, and flutter. I guess we'll listen to that like real quick. Since I've messed this whole project up so far, let's just turn this like way up. It's a very pleasing tape, wow, and flutter effect that also has a tape splice effect in it. And I'm super into that idea. It's not happening very frequently here. We can make it happen more frequently. We'll hear some really weird stuff every now and then as we hit that splice point for our virtual tape loop. Oh, great. There's a lot of noise behind me. It's just a really cool effect. It's got like modeled noise modes in it. It's like, you can hear this hum. We'll turn up the 60 cycle hum. I mean, that's kind of cool in itself. We could do like fan rumble. That's kind of interesting. We got dust. We got vinyl crackle. I mean, I'm going over the top here with these effects, right? Oops. All right, let's stop that. Whoa, goodness gracious sakes alive. It's just a really cool effect. So that's Traverse used on a drum bus. There's a lot of great presets that come with this plugin. Like here's a really over-the-top one called Disintegration Loop. I guess let's try it again. So you can hear over time, this is going to build up and just become really noisy and crazy. Drink time. I mean, if you're into making like lo-fi music, liminal ambient music, I think this plugin is just great, and it's definitely worth the $29 that it's available for right now. It's super interesting. Let's bring up that noise. I mean, it's just whack. There's even this thing called a card reader noise. It's very interesting. I don't even know like what that's trying to emulate, to be honest. It's very strange, very interesting. Sorry, I could listen to this for a long time. Whoa, that's just gonna keep going. Let's just restore that project, shall we? All right, so that's Traverse used on a drum bus. It can also be used, as we wait for our plugins to load here again, it can be used on guitar tracks as well. And because it has like these tape, wow, and flutter type effects, it can be very interesting as a substitute for chorus. So here is a patch that's very guitar-like. It's called Wendy's Prototype. This is actually from my collection of Korg multi-poly patches called KRC Collection 1. If you want that, you can go get it at wavetables.lol. But in this particular patch, it does come in its default form with some effects on it. And let's just drill into this really quick. I love Korg Multipoly, by the way. You know that. I have hours and hours of video on Korg Multipoly. There's an amp sim on this. Let's turn off all the effects, I suppose, so we can just hear what we're dealing with from a, kind of a pure wavetable point of view. Here, we'll turn off Traverse. Do we have another effect on here? Oh gosh, we've also got Ascent. Okay, and then a compressor. So that's like the core kind of oscillator sound in this patch. So this patch is really kind of all about the effects. Now this does sound like a little bit, right? Like a guitar that has an electric guitar that's been unplugged from its amp and such. It's just a little plingy plingy kind of sound. But then if we, turn the amp sim on, and then I've got a flanger on here. All right, now we're starting to get that kind of guitar pedal board sound, right? Instead of using the main effects in Korg Multipoly, right? So that I put a reverb on the original version of this. It's like this. So that's the patch as you would get it from KRC Collection 1. But we'll turn off the reverb. And let's turn on Traverse now. So here's our Traverse. And so I've got this slightly modified version of a preset patch called Velvet Tilt. I mean, listen to how like Cocteau twinsy guitar this gets. Rather than listening to me play, let's just like solo this track and hear it in context. It's really a beautiful sound. I really like this effect a lot. You see, we've got a lot of tape wow, a lot of flutter. We've got some of the splice effect going on here, right? And then we've got a delay that it's not tempo synced. We're just letting the time be the time, man. And what's it at? It's like about 0.48 seconds, I guess. Well, now I've messed it up again, haven't I? There we go. With a lot of feedback. It just gives this like really nice chorusy sound, and it sounds very sounds very electric guitar-y to me. We are using the noise here. The noises are all modeled. I don't know if I said that yet. So they're not just samples. Like they have some variation to them. Like if we did the vinyl crackle thing, we would hear that this does not repeat over and over. But I liked it with kind of a guitar hum kind of thing on it. The delays, it can be stereoized, so you can have like a mono delay. Or we can widen it for ping pong. It's really beautiful. So like that's just a great effect. We could also turn up the drive, which like feeds back into the delay. So let's do that. And this will get really dirty really quick. Turning up the feedback. Now actually, if you didn't want this effect to affect the dry part of the signal path, you can also put it post delay. So instead of your your sound actually hitting the cassette effect. The cassette effect, if you click post delay, will only be on the repeats. So that's a distinctly different sound in itself. Let's leave the drive up and let's play that track back again. And you see like it's only our echoes that are going to go into like wild distortion. But it's a very pleasant kind of distortion. And we could take it super wide. And we got like it. Pretty great, right? I just think it's really nice. Now, the other thing, oh, stop it. The other thing that's like pretty cool about these three plugins that are part of this motion effects bundle, I'm just going to restart my project again, is that in addition to the traverse cassette delay effect, there's also a reverb called Ascent and a granular delay effect called Descent. As soon as this is loaded, we'll take a look at this guitar again. Because I think I do have Ascent on there. Let's listen to this line again with the original, like scaled back version of Traverse, and then Ascent, which looks like this. It's a fairly simple reverb. You can like make it crazier with this particulate setting. It is auto ducking. So you can have the dry signal like duck the reverb when it's going. And then this reverb like alternates, we'll play something, Keith. This reverb like alternates between like a digital hall style reverb and a shimmer reverb. And so you've got a pitch control, that's for the pitch of the shimmer. You've got a regeneration control. You've got basic tone controls here, decay time and mix. And then you've got 3 different room models. So let's listen to the guitar. Let's see, let's solo the guitar, and let's also solo this trumpet, which also has traverse on it. Here we go. And you can hear that there's just the tiniest bit of like shimmer bloom on the guitar part. And also, there's a beautiful effect on this trumpet part, which is a contact patch from our friends over at, whoa, come on, show me the thing, contact, quit acting up, from our friends over at Authentic Soundware. This is the Harmon Mute trumpet from Space Age Colors, which here I'm using not in a kind of space age pop context, but in like a lo-fi jazz context, right? It's a beautiful instrument that has these like great articulations that sound very, very realistic. Anyway, back to the guitar part. I'm using Ascent here, and let's like play with this a little bit. We could move the bloom up. We could make it less dark. Let's change the mix a bit. It's a really beautiful kind of ambient reverb when you listen to it this way. Let's just listen to the reverb by itself by changing the mix all the way up. It's pretty cool. Again, this is $29. You can get it in the bundle with Descent and Traverse for just like $65. I think it's totally worth it. Put the dry signal back in there. I'm going to try to get this kind of back to its original position without reloading my project. But it's pretty great. It's a very useful reverb that's particularly appropriate for like lo-fi and liminal genres. Let's take a listen to this trumpet part. So on the trumpet, again, this is from Authentic Soundware's Space Age Colors. I am putting a bit of EQ on it, just to change the tone to be a little more lo-fi, using the Omnisphere 3 effects, and then that goes into Traverse. So I guess we'll just turn off all the effects and let's just listen to the trumpet by itself. Are you soloed? No, you're not soloed. So that's the part. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. And then let's turn the effects back on, including traverse. Let's look at what traverse is doing. So we've got a good amount of drive here. We've got some wow and flutter, the splice effect going, and then a delay that, again, is not synced. I just set the time to like how I thought this should work. Now, this one does not have a lot of the noise effect in it. Just a tiny bit of hiss. There we go. Tiny bit of hiss. And let's play that back. I was taking inspiration from the name of this preset, which is called Lonely Trumpet. And I think it does make this trumpet sound lonely. Put some of our other instruments in here. It's a little piano riff. Which I guess brings us to this piano part. In the piano part, I'm using Descent and Traverse. So this is just an Omnisphere patch. It's actually one of the built-in ones, just the simple dreamy piano. Let's go turn our extra effects off here. We'll turn off Traverse. We'll turn off Descent. This is actually just a leveler. So this is just a compressor. We'll leave that on. And so this is a really cool piano sound. It's dreamy, right? But I have turned off, I believe, yeah. So it by default in Omnisphere, this would have the super verb on it to give you a really dreamy, like long. Really dreamy kind of piano. And that's beautiful, but like we can make it weirder and, you know, even I think more beautiful by turning off Omnisphere's built-in reverb and using Traverse here. And here I do have the delay tempo sync. So let's just turn Traverse on and listen to this. Oh, actually, sync mode is on here, but there is no delay. I have the delay off. I'm really just using the drive. Let's bypass it. I'm just using the drive and the tone control. And the tape effects, where I've got a lot of wow, a good amount of flutter. Let's unbypass it. Like that's a really great like lo-fi. I think you can kind of hear the cassette kind of sound to that. I mean, it almost sounds, I mean, it's very nostalgic and liminal. And it almost sounds like a Casio SK1 recording, really. And so since this part is so sparse, I wanted to jazz it up a little bit with Descent. Now, of these three plugins, Traverse, Ascent, and Descent, Descent is probably like my least favorite in a way. It's a granular effect. I would typically do granular synthesis, you know, inside of a synthesizer voice, but you can use this to do all sorts of delays. It has this stochastic randomizer that's very interesting. And you can kind of go from defined delays to very diffuse delays. The individual grains that it produces can be played forward, backward, or in a random kind of mode. And so here's what this sounds like applied after the traverse effect. Is it going to play? There we go. And you can see there's cool visualizations in these. Whoops. Like here's the little particles like floating off of our core sound. So it kind of makes this really cool little ambient bed, right? That's also stochastic and unpredictable. We can turn on chaos for even crazier effects. We could move the count of the grains up. I should maybe turn this up a little bit. Let's play that again with some of these new settings. Let's just increase our grains. There's also a pitch control for the grains. Sorry, I'm a little mush-mouthed today. Maybe I need a drink. You can change the shape of the windowing over the grains, like the amplitude envelope. Let's just kind of change that at random and see what happens. Instead of having the trumpet in there, we'll put the guitar back in. And let's just see how this sounds. Yeah, so you can get these like really, it's interesting kind of ambient bed effect. So just really interesting ways to lo-fi-ify your sound. Lo-fi-ify. Is that a word? I mean, I've completely messed up my carefully dialed in settings from before. But altogether, if we just unsolo things, let's like listen to the whole thing again. Did I turn all my effects back on? Let's see. Yeah. It just sounds really nice. Oops, we're missing the drums. What happened? Is everyone okay? Hey, like and subscribe for more talky synthesizer content.
New listening enjoyment with tape.
I mean, I really like these effects.
New realism, a new dimension that is so vividly apparent in stereophonic sound.
It's good stuff. And like I say, it just hadn't gotten a lot of attention from non-iPad producers. So go to Audio Damage and get the motion bundle. Or I would just say, look, if you like that kind of like, liminal, lo-fi, warbly tape effect, I think Traverse is totally worth the $29. Like I say, I think that's an intro price and it's going to go up. But I have found use for all of these things. And I think they're just super. So go and get them. Hey, other wavetables.lol news. Our friend, Jürgen Mosgraber, of ConvertWithMoss fame, implemented my Omnisphere 3 hack. So if you're not familiar with it, ConvertWithMoss is a really cool utility that works on Windows, Linux, Mac, that converts multi-samples between all sorts of formats. And in his latest version, Jürgen implemented my Spectrasonics Omnisphere 3 multi-sample hack. So if you've been waiting for my scripts that can take existing SFZ multi-samples and or whatever format multi-samples and turn them into Omnisphere 3 multi-samples, which is a thing you haven't been able to do to date, ConvertWithMoss is already there. And it supports a bunch of different formats. So you can convert to and from Omnisphere 3 and any other multi-sampled, multi-sample format. I guess I'm saying multi-sampled instrument format, which is very cool. And Jürgen mentioned me in his video and mentioned me in the notes on this one. There will be links in the description to Jürgen's video as well as ConvertWithMoss, but you can just search ConvertWithMoss to find that. And it's completely free. So super awesome. What else is going on? Oh, I did want to talk about, another thing that's really cool about Audio Damage is, so years ago, Chris Randall, who is the mind behind Audio Damage and is also maybe sort of better known as the industrial band Sister Machine Gun, and known for his work on the Mortal Kombat film soundtrack. Really cool guy. He did these shirts about early, like t-shirts that feature early electronic musicians, and I have two of them I don't know how many he did. He did like 3. But this one's Pierre Schaeffer. And this is very appropriate for this because, so Chris made the shirt. But Pierre Schaeffer is the guy who coined the term Musique concrète, tape music, concrete music. And he did all sorts of really cool compositions when he was live, and he's a cool looking dude. I gotta get where's my YouTube? I will link to this. If you want to hear Pierre Schaeffer's weird tape music that's like from the 1940s, check out the video I'm gonna link to. It's super interesting. Let's listen to a little bit of it right now. And what a stylish fellow. I love how everybody in like the 30s and 40s, like, you know, suited up. Let's just listen. I think I have to turn this up. This is crazy shit for like the 1940s. And you know, all this was made by like splicing tape together. It's like very early electronic music. Fantastic stuff. So go listen to Pierre Schaeffer. Don't just simulate doing tape delays. You know, you could go listen to the source. I found this actually like a really interesting video to listen to, and it's only like 16 minutes. But this kind of found sound music with these like spooky voices in it. I mean, it's wild. I mean, this could be in the soundtrack to the Backrooms, right? Anyway, cool stuff. Kind of a short video today. I just wanted to get some stuff out there about these great audio damage plugins. Traverse, Ascent, and Descent. Highly recommended, completely wavetables.lol approved. And I think this will be my second video in the week for me. Check out my most recent interview that's more about wavetables with our friend Seth Watson from Fine Increments, the creator of Wavefield that I released earlier this week. And what else? Oh, go to wavetables.lol. Get KRC Mathwaves. The free version is free. The full version, which is the world's largest collection of wavetables, like literally more than you could listen to in a lifetime, is just $29. You could also get my reverb called Liminal Space, which I am using here on this track, where the little vocals here are using Liminal Space.
A new dimension that is so vividly apparent in stereophonic sound.
Liminal Space is really weird. It can do infinite reverbs. It has its own cassette effect as well. It's super cool. You can go get that. That's just $10. Oh, and if you're interested in the guitar part, why is that not playing? I don't know. Oh, because it's soloed. If you're interested in patches like this for your Korg multi-poly hardware or software version, go get KRC Collection 1 for multi-poly. It's like 90 patches. And a bunch of custom wavetables that don't appear in any of my other collections. With that, I'm going to shut up because it's really time to quit for the day. So take a drink, and I will talk to you later.